Welcome back to this week's episode of Survived, Esther Story, the reality show that keeps you guessing. Last week we heard how the bad dude Haman was plotting to wipe out all the Jews. Haman got really angry at Mordecai. Mordecai heard all about all that had happened and was done by Haman to destroy his people and got really upset. Esther's servants came to her and told her about how upset Mordecai was. Esther was very upset and afraid too. Then Esther called for Hathach. He was one of the king's servants chosen by the king to serve Esther. Esther ordered him to find out what was bothering Mordecai and why. So Hathach went to have a sit down with Mordecai. Mordecai was in the city square in front of the king's gate. Here is what they talked about.
Oh, Hathach, that bad dude Haman talked the king into killing all my people. He even offered to pay a lot of money into the royal treasury to help his kingness to do this awful thing. The king even agreed. Take a gaze on those orders from the big guy to himself to kill all the Jews. Hathach, my friend, show this to Esther and tell her about it. Tell Esther that she needs to go to the king's big office and beg for mercy and to plead with him for our people.
Hathach went back to report to Esther everything Mordecai had said. Then Esther told Hathach what to say to her cousin Mordecai.
All the royal officers and people of the royal areas know this. Nobody, I mean nobody, may go into the king in the inner courtyard without the king saying, "Hey, you, come over here." There's only one law about this. Anyone who enters must be put to death. That is way harsh. But if the king holds out his gold stick, that person may live. I've not been called to go to the king for 30 days. That bugs me to have to go talk to the king after 30 long days.
Hathach gave Esther's message to Mordecai. Then Mordecai gave orders to say to Esther,
Just because you live in the king's big house, don't think that out of all the Jews, you alone will be saved. You might not talk right now, then someone else will help to save the Jews. But you and your dad's family will die. Who knows? You may have been chosen queen for just such a time as this.
Then Esther sent this answer to Mordecai.
Go and get all the Jews together. Do this favor for me. Don't eat for a while. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night and day. I and my servant girls will quit eating too. Then I will go to the big guy on the throne, even though it's against the law. And if I die, I die.
So Mordecai went away. He did everything Esther had told him to do. Esther showed great bravery by doing something good that she knew could end up being very bad for her. That is this week's episode of the hit reality show Survived, Esther Story. Join us next week as we hear more of Esther's incredible story.